Good morning, Octopus class. This morning our English lesson is about using vocabulary to describe. So we may be using adjectives and adverbs in particular here, but also other word types and sentence types to describe a setting. So your silver task is to make a bank of vocabulary to describe your picture on your sheet today. Now I've got a picture here that's different to yours, but I might pick up some vocabulary such as the word haunting. I could use a 2A and describe the trees as lifeless, bare trees. So I'm using the suffix less on the word lifeless, which is a year 4 standard, and also the word bare is a homophone, so that is spelled correctly. I could also describe the moon as translucent, which is one of our science words we've learnt recently in the topic of light, the translucent, sinister moon. And I could describe the building as a wooden shack. So what I would then go on to do for my silver challenge is to write 3 sentences to describe the setting using the adjectives I've just thought of. For your goal task, you are going to create a paragraph for a setting description using high-level vocabulary, so lots of synonyms to up-level your words you are using, and to try and pop in some fronted adverbials that we learnt about yesterday as well. You have a steps to success to help you today, and also a prompt map which is on your sheet. So I'm going to write a waggle, and I'm going to start with under the translucent sinister moon. So I've used under as a fronted adverbial for place. Under the translucent sinister moon stood the wooden shack. As hours passed, another adverbial for time. The only haunting sound of tooting owls could be heard. Another homophone there, spelling heard correctly. The mist, the fog, lingered, watching its prey. Now mist can't watch, can it? So I'm using personification there to describe the mist, to make it quite mysterious. Okay, you would carry on. I'd like a longer paragraph, please, continuing to use high-level vocabulary throughout. To move on to platinum, we are looking at expanded noun phrases, which is a greater depth year 4 standard. So you need to remember when writing expanded noun phrases that you need a determiner, for example, the, a 2A phrase. So in my example, the 2A is eerie, derelict, building, and remembering to separate your 2 adjectives by a comma. The eerie, derelict building, you now need a verb, so my building stood, a prepositional phrase, in the forest. Okay, another example then, I'm going to use the same determiner, the, I'm going to use my vocabulary from my silver task, the lifeless, bare trees, stood silently under the translucent moon. And then finally, let's see if we can think of one more. I'm going to use a different determiner this time, and I'm going to use a, or an. Now I need to up-level my vocabulary here because I've repeated myself. An eerie, derelict building lay abandoned behind the creaking trees. Now, before you move on to your platinum task, I'd like you to up-level my vocab so I'm not repeating myself. Then what I would go on to do is input my new expanded noun phrases that I've created for platinum into my setting description from my gold task. Okay, so before you move on to platinum, make sure you up-level my last sentence here, and then you may have a go at creating your own expanded noun phrases to input into your setting description. Okay.